I think last year was a flash in the pan. The stars aligned. Something magical happened. I don't think they're going to be able to replicate that.
Just what you've been waiting for. Movies, TV, music, and more. Follow, subscribe, stay up to date. Episodes drop every other Monday. It's the man, watch that. It's the man, watch that. It's the man, watch that podcast.
Welcome to the Matt Watch That podcast, the place for reviews, rants, and randomness. I'm your host, Matt Seroski, filmmaker, film fan. Each episode, I'm going to watch a movie or TV pilot that I probably should have seen, but never got around to. It could be a recent favorite, critic's choice, or cult classic. To join in on the conversation, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've discussed, or suggestions as to what I should see next, use the hashtag MattWatchThat on social. Before we start, the 2025 baseball season has begun, and as frequent listeners of the podcast should know, I'm a big Mets fan, so I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts about their moves and other happenings during the off-season. Strap in, folks. The biggest move that the team made was signing Juan Soto to a ridiculous 15-year, $765 million contract. Now, I know he's a generational talent, and if we win a World Series or two, it's gonna be worth it. They also re-signed Pete Alonso, if not just to protect Juan Soto in the lineup, but I'm a little disappointed in the moves that they didn't make. I think they needed one more big bat in the lineup. I mean, right now, projections have Brandon Nimmo in the cleanup spot. He almost matched his season-high home run total this year, and that was still only 23. While the starting pitching staff definitely has a little more depth, I've been watching a lot of these commentators talk about how their bullpen is improved. They brought back most of the same players and signed one more person. Are you seeing the same team as me? I look over at the crosstown rivals and see they traded for players like Cody Bellinger and Devin Williams for a bag of peanuts. And when you look across the league, players like Walker Buehler and Shane Bieber signed for 1 year, $15 million. That's chump change for Cohen. But the biggest story this offseason were the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't care that the Dodgers spent as much money as they did, or the fact that they deferred over $1 billion. I just want the league and the front office to be consistent. When the San Diego Padres were going to offer Aaron Judge a 14-year contract, the MLB said they were going to step in and block it from happening because the last 4 years of the contract was only added as an attempt to lower their official payroll to lessen the tax. So that's not acceptable by MLB, but if they deferred it, that would be okay. And of course, you can't have one of baseball's biggest stars going to the Padres. Then when Steve Cohen became the owner of the New York Mets and spent $40 million each on two 40-plus-year-old pitchers, MLB stepped in and instituted the Steve Cohen tax. All the other owners were up in arms because they didn't want this billionaire to be spending all this money. But the Dodgers, over $1 billion in deferral payments, and MLB applauds. Oh, bravo. Bravo, this is great for the league, and other owners should take note. Now, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for a moment. The MLB has a vested interest in growing the sport worldwide, and the two most popular teams are the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees. So if those teams are doing well, MLB's doing well. So my predictions this season, the Mets are going to be a second-place team in the division. They'll get in on the wild card. They'll finish with 86 wins, 76 losses. I think last year was a flash in the pan. The stars aligned. Something magical happened. I don't think they're going to be able to replicate that. And they'll go out in the first round of the playoffs. I hope I'm wrong. On to the main attraction. Each review will end with a ranking out of 5 stars. 1 star is skip it, 2 stars watch at your own risk, 3 stars standard fare, 4 stars worth checking out, and 5 stars must see. Now, if I give a title 5 stars, it doesn't mean I'm comparing it to Casablanca, Jaws, or Seinfeld. I rank titles based on other movies or TV series in that genre and at that time period. On this episode of the podcast, I'll be reviewing Heat from 1995. It was directed by Michael Mann, whose career is defined by his sleek, atmospheric filmmaking and his exploration of complex characters, caught between personal turmoil and larger societal forces. Known for iconic films like Heat, The Insider, and Collateral, Mann's work blends visceral action with psychological depth, establishing him as one of the most influential filmmakers in the crime and thriller genres. The screenplay was written by Mann and based on his previous project called LA Takedown, which was a television pilot turned into a standalone TV movie after the series wasn't picked up by NBC. It stars Robert De Niro as Neil McCauley. Rising to prominence in the 1970s, De Niro made a profound impact with his collaborations with director Martin Scorsese, notably in Taxi Driver, where his portrayal of the troubled and isolated Travis Bickle became an emblem of gritty urban realism. Their partnership continued with legendary films like Raging Bull, where his transformative performance as boxer Jake LaMotta earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor. He brought an air of menace and complexity to roles in The Godfather Part 2, earning him a second Academy Award, Heat, and Goodfellas, while also showcasing his comedic talents in films like Midnight Run, Analyze This, and Meet the Fockers. De Niro's influence extended into filmmaking, with his directorial ventures such as A Bronx Tale and The Good Shepherd, earning critical acclaim. De Niro's legacy remains rooted in his fearlessness, dedication to his craft, and his ability to portray both the darkest and most vulnerable aspects of the human experience. His commitment to his roles, often involving extensive physical transformations and deep psychological exploration, established him as one of the greatest actors of a generation. Al Pacino portrays Lieutenant Vincent Hanna. His career was forever shaped by his role as Michael Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather, a performance that not only catapulted him to stardom, but became one of the most revered in cinematic history. Pacino's portrayal of the reluctant mob heir showcased his ability to balance vulnerability and menace, earning him an Academy Award nomination. He continued to carve out a path of memorable roles, delivering powerhouse performances in films like Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, and Scarface, solidifying his reputation as one of the most electrifying actors of his generation. Pacino's career evolved, seeing him embrace roles with equal intensity, from Shakespearean characters in The Merchant of Venice to comedic turns in The Devil's Advocate and Jack and Jill, his ruthless portrayal in Heat, and an Academy Award-winning performance for Scent of a Woman. Pacino's legacy as a versatile and powerful actor continues to leave a lasting impression on film and theater alike. Heat also features an ensemble cast with Val Kilmer, Jon Voight, Tom Sizemore, Ashley Judd, Ted Levine, Dennis Haysbert, William Fichtner, Hank Azaria, and Natalie Portman. This is something to look out for. While filming at Cape Mantilini in Beverly Hills, Michael Mann used restaurant employees as extras, which earned them SAG cards at the end of filming. So let's jump into it. Heat follows the intersecting lives of two men, Neil McCauley, a professional thief, and Vincent Hanna, a determined LAPD detective, whose paths cross as they find themselves on opposite sides of the law. Neil McCauley leads a well-organized criminal crew, executing high-stakes heists with precision. His team includes his trusted associates, Chris and Michael, but McCauley lives by a strict code: never get personally involved and always stay detached. His world begins to unravel after a robbery gone awry, which prompts Detective Vincent Hanna, an obsessive and driven cop, to focus his efforts on bringing McCauley down. As McCauley and Hanna engage in a tense cat-and-mouse game, they both struggle with personal lives that are falling apart. McCauley's relationships, especially with a woman named Edie, threatens his rule of emotional detachment, while Hanna's workaholic lifestyle strains his marriage to his wife, Justine, and his relationship with his stepdaughter. Both men are bound by a shared sense of duty and professionalism, but as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that their worlds are on a collision course. McCauley plans one final heist, a massive job targeting a bank, and Hanna must do everything in his power to stop him. Here's a quote without context. "He knew the risks. He didn't have to be there. It rains, you get wet." Heat is a masterclass in crime cinema, a film that transcends the genre, with its intricate storytelling, complex characters, and riveting performances. From the very first frame, Heat establishes itself as a slow burn, methodical in its pacing, yet rich in tension. The film balances thriller heist sequences with deeper character exploration, creating an atmosphere of inevitability, as both Macaulay and Hannah are drawn into the dangerous game where personal and professional lives blur. The dynamic between the two men is the heart of the film, with De Niro and Pacino delivering some of their finest performances. Their iconic diner scene, where the characters face off across a table, is a masterclass of cinematic tension. Mann's direction is meticulous, crafting a world where every shot feels deliberate and every moment carries weight. The urban landscape of Los Angeles becomes a character in itself, with the city's neon-lit streets and sprawling highways serving as a backdrop to the film's exploration of isolation and lives led in the shadows. What sets Heat apart from other crime films is its psychological depth. It's not just a story about a cop and a robber. It's a meditation on the nature of their work, their sense of duty, and the loneliness that comes with living on the edge. Heat is a crime epic that doesn't just thrill with action, a rare blend of style, substance, and raw emotional power that cements its place as one of the greatest films in the genre. Now for a little trivial trivia. Danny Trejo was hired to be an armed robbery consultant because he was imprisoned for this crime. As he was relaying the ins and outs of the crime to Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, Michael Mann offered Trejo an on-screen part in the film. Heat was produced by Regency Enterprises and Forward Pass. It was distributed by Warner Brothers. It was filmed at Bob's Big Boy, Kate Mantilini, Venice Boulevard, Centinela Drive-In Theater, and Harbor Place Tower, all in Los Angeles, California. There were over 95 locations, and no scenes were shot at a soundstage. The cinematography was captured by Dante Spignotti, whose filmography includes dramedy Beaches, action comedy Hudson Hawk, western The Quick and the Dead, and superhero sequel X-Men The Last Stand. He was nominated for 2 Academy Awards for Best Cinematography of LA Confidential and The Insider. It was co-edited by Pasquale Bubba, who worked on zombie horror Day of the Dead and psychological drama Monkey Shines. Dove Honing, known for thriller The Fugitive and historical drama The Last of the Mohicans, and Academy Award winners William Goldenberg and Tom Rolfe. The score was composed by Elliot Goldenthal, who wrote the music for science fiction sequel Alien 3, futuristic action film Demolition Man, legal drama A Time to Kill, and won an Academy Award for Best Music Original Score for Frida. The soundtrack featured songs by Passengers, Moby, William Orbit, and House of Pain. The runtime is 2 hours 50 minutes. It had a budget of $60 million and grossed $187 million at the box office. A prequel novel was released in 2022 and is set to be adapted into a feature film, with Adam Driver in talks to play young Macaulay. On the Ski Index, I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Take off half a star if you're not a fan of slow burns. If you've seen Heat and have opinions on the movie, let me know what you think using the hashtag MattWatchThat. Moving right along, each episode, I'm going to post clips that I think people should watch. It could be movie trailers, music videos, interviews, or something completely random. Search for my YouTube page and there'll be a playlist called Matt Watch That Playback. Bob Uecker's life is a fascinating blend of baseball, humor, and broadcasting that has made him a beloved figure in American sports and entertainment. Born on January 26, 1934, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Uecker's baseball journey began in the minor leagues. He was signed by the Milwaukee Braves in 1956 and spent several seasons in their minor league system before making his MLB debut in 1962. Uecker's time with the Braves, who would become the Milwaukee Brewers, was marked by hard work but limited playing time. Uecker's big league playing career spanned from 1962 to 1967, during which he played for the Milwaukee Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, and Philadelphia Phillies. Though he was a catcher by trade, Uecker wasn't known for his offensive prowess, posting a career batting average of just .200, with 14 home runs and 50 RBIs in 293 games. While Uecker's batting numbers might not have been impressive, he carved out a niche as a reliable defensive catcher. He was known for his strong arm and solid defensive skills behind the plate. Uecker did have a few standout moments. He appeared in the 1964 World Series as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, though he didn't see much playing time. His period with the Braves also included some memorable years, and he was part of the team during its last season in Milwaukee before the franchise relocated to Atlanta. After a modest 6-year playing career in Major League Baseball, Uecker transitioned to broadcasting in 1971, becoming the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. Uecker's ability to weave stories, joke about his own playing days, and provide color commentary brought a distinctive, lighthearted tone to the broadcasts that resonated with fans. He earned the nickname Mr. Baseball from Tonight Show host Johnny Carson, where he was a frequent guest, appearing a record 62 times on the program. His contributions to the sport were recognized with induction into the National Radio Hall of Fame and a spot in the Brewers' Ring of Honor. In addition to his broadcasting legacy, Uecker achieved fame as an actor with his comedic roles in television and film. He became the spokesperson for Miller Lite beer, appearing in commercials which spawned the catchphrase, "I must be in the front row," and christened the Uecker seats in the nosebleed section. His affable personality led to other acting opportunities. He starred in the popular TV sitcom Mr. Belvedere for 6 seasons, 117 episodes from 1985 to 1990, where he played George Owens, a lovable but somewhat goofy father. He made an appearance at WrestleMania 3 and 4 as commentator, interviewer, and ring announcer. His most notable acting role came in the Major League films, where he played the bumbling and irreverent sportscaster Harry Doyle. His iconic line, "just a bit outside," became one of the most quoted moments from the film, cementing Uecker as a comedic talent in his own right. Uecker's wit, combined with his deep knowledge of the game, made him one of the most entertaining broadcasters in the history of baseball. His long-running tenure with the Brewers earned him numerous accolades, and in 2003, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame as a recipient of the Ford C. Frick Award for Excellence in Broadcasting. Though Bob Uecker's playing career may not have made him a household name as a ball player, his legacy in the game is undeniable. His self-deprecating humor, passion for the game, and unique blend of talent both on the field and behind the microphone made him a true baseball treasure. Today, Uecker is remembered not just for his time in uniform, but for his enduring connection to the sport, as a broadcaster and a beloved personality. His story is one of resilience, humor, and love for the game. A reminder that sometimes the greatest contribution to baseball come not from the stars, but from the players who simply keep the game fun and interesting, whether on the field or in the booth. I've selected a couple of clips of Bob Uecker's best moments. They're all available in the Matt Watch That Playback playlist on YouTube. Check it out. Now it's time for the recommendation. Yes, that's the word recommendation with Matt in the middle. I'm going to end each podcast with my own recommendation of a movie or TV series. Today I'm talking about Tulsa King. It tells the story of Dwight Manfredi, a mafia capo recently released from prison after serving a 25-year sentence. Instead of being welcomed back into the fold by his old New York family, Dwight is exiled to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he must build a new criminal empire from the ground up. Armed with old-world mob tactics and a sharp mind, Dwight begins to recruit a mix of unlikely allies, including a group of local misfits, to help him navigate the unfamiliar territory and expand his operations. The series blends elements of crime, action, and dark humor as Dwight adapts to his new life, while confronting both external threats from rival gangs and internal challenges from his own past. The crime drama stars Sylvester Stallone in his first major television role. The cinematic legend, whose career skyrocketed with iconic parts like Rocky Balboa and John Rambo, blending raw intensity with undeniable charisma. Stallone's portrayal of the tough, yet unexpectedly vulnerable Dwight Manfredi brings depth to the show, exploring themes of loyalty, power, and redemption. It was created by Taylor Sheridan, whose career has evolved from a respected actor to one of the most influential screenwriters and directors in contemporary television and film. Initially known for his acting roles in shows like Sons of Anarchy, Sheridan's true breakthrough came as a writer with the gripping 2015 film Sicario, followed by the critically acclaimed Hell or High Water and Wind River. His storytelling often delves into the complexities of the American West, portraying raw, morally nuanced characters in gritty, tense environments. As the creator of the Yellowstone franchise, including its spin-offs 1883 and 1923, Sheridan has redefined the modern Western, blending his sharp dialogue, intricate plots, and expansive landscapes with a deep understanding of human conflict. His work continues to captivate audiences and elevate the Western genre to new heights. Tulsa King stands out for its mix of gritty mob drama and fish-out-of-water comedy, as the aging mobster tries to assert his dominance in a world far removed from the streets of New York City. The series dives into themes of adaptation and the complexity of starting over, while also offering plenty of action and suspense. The series has been on for 2 seasons, 19 episodes from 2020 to present, and airs on Paramount+. It's on track to secure a 3rd and 4th season. A spin-off series set in New Orleans is in the early stages of development. That's all for this edition of Matt Watch That. Thanks for listening to me babble. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've discussed, or suggestions as to what movie or TV pilot I should see, use the hashtag MattWatchThat on social. Head over to mattseroski.com for all the latest news and updates, and come back next time for the reviews, rants, and randomness. A performance that not only capitulated... Nope, not it. Heat is a masterclass in crime cinema. A film that resonates the genre, that doesn't make sense at all. Macaulay's relationships, especially with a woman named Edie, threatens his rule of demotional